We now have confirmation from the Ripple CTO regarding the stablecoin and what it's about to do to XRP. And I do think that everyone should be focused on this right now. I get it, right? The stablecoin discussions have been heavy recently, but that's because this is such a big piece of the overall puzzle. And in this video, I am going to be addressing a lot of that, as well as a few other things, of course. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And guys, make sure that you are in the free Discord. If you're not, you are missing out on a substantial amount of valuable information. There's going to be a link at the top of the description below. Join in, you won't regret it. Now, Bitcoin dominance has been rising, and so has Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin just broke to a new all-time high recently. We are still trading at lower time frame resistance, as you guys can see on the daily, but we did break to a new all-time high. And just as I expected, it feels as though we are on a path to $110,000. Now, during this time, you might be saying, well, why isn't XRP moving, for an example? Well, XRP is starting to have a nice little breakout from the lows of roughly $2.35 at the time that I am recording this. The big question is, are we going to finally have a big break to $2.60 plus to hit that recent resistance level and ultimately hit $2.90 again to retest a much larger breakout? That's the big question. Now, the question here that I'm asking is, are we about to see Bitcoin continue to 110,000, or are we going to reject somewhere between 106 to 110,000, taking altcoins with it, allowing for XRP to retest the lows of roughly about $2.20 to print completely the inverse head and shoulders pattern that I did mention in my XRP video from yesterday? If that is the case, I'm still very bullish on XRP, and I actually think that from $2.20, we should see $4 plus on XRP in a very short amount of time. It's not going to take too long, but I also wouldn't mind seeing XRP and most of the market wake up in a large way and just completely avoid any sell-off or any major pullback. And I do think that we should see that if we are going to do it within the next 7 days. So we're definitely going to keep a close eye on that. But beyond, TA, beyond price talk, let's actually address the elephant in the room, which is the stablecoin, along with a few other things. Number one, Alicia HQ did put out a post regarding that they are pleased to introduce their latest tokenized real-world asset, US Treasury bills, on the XRP ledger. Beginning next week, users can stake XRP to receive T-bill tokens and earn yield from the underlying assets. Their first overall trank opens on December 19th at 3 UTC. Now, they did correct this. It's actually over here. Their T-bill launch is scheduled for December 18th at 9 UTC. The previous tweet mentioned the incorrect time of December 19th at 3 UTC. Thank you for understanding. We look forward to seeing you there. But outside of that, we have, in collaboration with the VASP licensed Infinite Block, marking the inaugural RWA launch on the XRP ledger in South Korea. This initiative represents the first of many RWA-focused products we plan to offer, including those involving RLUSD. Further details will follow. Stay tuned. Now, we also have a few key features here. The first ever US Treasury bill launched on the XRP ledger, a product designed for XRP holders where you can stake XRP and receive rewards in XRP, enhanced reliability with custody wallet based on a virtual asset service provider license. Through this T-bill, we aim to showcase the potential of tokenizing real-world assets for the XRP ledger users. The pool will be launched on December 18th via the Ali-Fi protocol. We look forward to your interest and participation. So I'm actually very excited about this, but it actually builds upon what we did here back in August, which was Open Eden launching their tokenized T-bills on the XRP ledger as well. Ripple did invest $10 million into Open Eden's tokenized T-bill initiative. And, we're still kind of waiting on some news regarding this, but I do believe that this is going to be happening very, very soon. I would assume that this is probably going to happen after we do get the launch of RLUSD, but we have institutions are increasingly looking at where to tokenize their real-world assets, and the arrival of T-bills on the XRP ledger powered by Open Eden reinforces the decentralized layer 1 blockchain. So again, this is pretty much the beginning of the XRP ledger to finally have institutional DeFi on it, institutional initiatives really kind of building out on it. And it all really starts with tokenization. And of course, we go back to the original accelerant for all of this, which is the stablecoin. Everyone keeps forgetting what the stablecoin actually does for the XRP ledger and for XRP. It is going to be a very, very big piece of the overall puzzle. Over here, big shout to Vincent Van Code for this. In fact, he actually did make two posts here. We have Ripple can use fiat to buy T-bills and earn a percentage, then custody those T-bills to create RLUSD, which it then in turn buys XRP with it. Any flaws in my logic? People saying Ripple needs regulatory approval to use T-bills as collateral with a regulated custodian. That is exactly what was approved recently. P.S. I don't have special knowledge and certainly not trying to give clues, just a thought experiment as I'm new to all of this. I just wanted to see what would be possible, and every way I chop this thing, it seems like Ripple are on a winner. Well, they are a winner, basically. Now, if we think about this, okay, yeah, this is actually very, very significant because Ripple already went through all of the hoops. They went all the way through every single, regulatory and compliance check when it comes to this RLUSD stablecoin. And even over here, we have from Chad Steingraber, this is why the New York Charter and Trust was probably the biggest move Ripple ever made in terms of US regulations. And yes, listen, when we talk about Ripple, everyone brings up the SEC lawsuit and how for 4 years they were basically, completely, shunned and stifled in the US. But outside of the US, they continue to expand rapidly. And then through a lot of acquisitions in the US, they were able to get these major key licenses that now allow them to become a crucial player, in my opinion, within the US economy and financial system. We actually have here, no other stablecoin has this, RLUSD. The soon-to-come Stablecoin Act will require strict approvals for full sanctioned use across the US financial system. And even over here, we have new Ripple CTO warns of potential supply shortages for RLUSD, urging caution against early FOMO as the stablecoin nears launch. Now, we actually have from David Schwartz, as RLUSD goes live, there may be supply shortages in the very early days before the market stabilizes. There actually is someone willing to pay $1,200 for a tiny fraction of one RLUSD. Tools will show you the highest price anyone is willing to pay, even if it's just for a tiny bit. Maybe someone wants the honor of buying the first bit of RLUSD on the DEX, but rest assured the price will come back to very close to $1 as soon as supply stabilizes. If it doesn't, something is very seriously wrong. If you want to spend a lot of money to get a tiny bit of RLUSD before anyone else does, you can, but please don't expect the price to stay over $1 once things stabilize, which I expect they will do very quickly. The whole point of a stablecoin is to have a stable price. Short-term changes in prices due to shortages of supply or demand are certainly possible, especially around launch, but they shouldn't remain for very long as arbitrageurs rapidly fix the market. Please don't FOMO into a stablecoin. This is not an opportunity to get rich. Now, when we think about the stablecoin, I do think that there's going to be a massive amount of demand for RLUSD. But a lot of people are forgetting that RLUSD is going to be minted out on both the XRP ledger and Ethereum. I bring this up because, again, we know what network is far more efficient. We know that Ethereum is a nightmare to transact on. So we look at the XRP ledger. Now, why am I so focused on RLUSD? Why am I so focused on stablecoins? And it takes me back to the post over here from Chad Steingraber. Even though this is speculation in terms of the RLUSD being a big piece of the US financial system, or, being a driver of the digital, financial economy essentially within the US, I do think that's very much possible. In fact, I actually do think that Ripple is going to become a big piece of the US financial system when it comes to the digital economy. And it's not me speculating. I mean, listen, go and look at some of the meetings that recently happened. I go and look back to, 7 months ago to this meeting where we had Nellie Liang, Under Secretary for Domestic Finance at the U.S. Department of the Treasury. She actually joined the OMFIF to discuss the technical and regulatory requirements for upgrading the legacy capabilities of central bank money. They explored the potential implications for consumers, investors, and businesses. We also delved into the long-term vision for the integration of CBDCs, tokenization, and stablecoins into the broader U.S. financial ecosystem, including potential benefits for economic growth and resilience. And this goes all the way back to this post that everyone saw back in April of 2024. This got posted by Subjective Views. This is Ripple, Stellar, and the U.S. Department of Treasury. There was a few other players here like Chainlink as well and Circle. But right before this, we did get the announcement that Ripple was launching their RLUSD stablecoin. Then this meeting happens. And this is with the Treasury. And the discussion was on technical and regulatory requirements for upgrading the legacy capabilities of central bank money, and then exploring the potential implications for consumers, investors, and businesses. They also delved into the long-term vision for the integration of CBDCs, tokenization, and stablecoins into the broader U.S. financial ecosystem, including potential benefits for economic growth and resilience. And if we think about how, crucial this meeting is versus what we just saw 2 months ago, right? This was actually from Dante from Circle, okay? And again, this is under, modernizing the regulatory framework for the digital economy, essentially. This is with Nellie Liang, again, the Treasury. And even here we have the Chicago Payment Symposium hosted by the Fed of Chicago remains the bellwether event for how the U.S. payments landscape is evolving. At this year's event, the U.S. Department of Treasury Under Secretary for Domestic Finance, Nellie Liang, who is pretty much almost at all of these major, discussions and meetings, delivered an important speech outlining what a national regulatory framework for payments might look like. I agree with many aspects of this national payments vision, which should promote the broadest payment system optionality possible, including bringing regulated stablecoins into the payments perimeter. The EU has done as much with the MiCA, where compliant stablecoins are treated like e-money, while state-based oversight of payments has never had a Wirecard type failure. The US is an outlier among advanced economies in not just enjoying a national payments framework, which is a major economic competitiveness gap. Now, again, as we think about all of this, right, they are preparing to introduce stablecoins into the US economy, just like we are seeing in the EU. Just like we're seeing almost around the world with a lot of these major moves that these nations are trying to make, I do think that the US is about to openly embrace these regulated stablecoins, but it's going to be the ones that are fully licensed, fully regulated. The companies that are behind these that did go through every single major obstacle to make sure that their stablecoin is extremely resilient, extremely safe, and, fully backed. And Ripple is one that has done this. And when we think about what the RLUSD stablecoin is going to do for not just, the US market, but for the overall crypto market, because you got to remember that Ripple is fully focused on institutional DeFi right now. The stablecoin opens up that big door for the institutions to embrace the DeFi space, embrace tokenization. That's why we are seeing a lot of these tokenization endeavors on the XRP ledger. This is exactly why, if we go back for the last roughly 12 months, right? Because all of 2024 from Ripple, what have we been hearing? Institutional DeFi, institutional DeFi, institutional DeFi. And guess what they are focused on? They're not looking at Ethereum. They're looking at the XRP ledger for all of these institutional DeFi initiatives. So this is why I do believe that, if we really take a step back, yeah, I do think that this stablecoin is going to be absolutely massive. And a lot of people keep asking me, well, what do you think it's going to do for XRP and the XRPL? Well, you got to think about all of the volume, anything that's really happening to RLUSD, at least around the XRP ledger side of things, because, transactions on Ethereum don't really matter for XRP, but any transactions that are going on, around the XRP ledger, guess what? That's all volume, that's all value, that's all transactional demand for the ledger. That's creating revenue for the ledger. That's creating, demand for the ledger. So that means XRP is going to rise significantly from a lot of that demand, if it is significant enough. But what we are hearing around this stablecoin is that initially there's going to be a lot of buy and demand. A lot of people are, wanting to get in on RLUSD or get a piece of RLUSD. But I actually do think that the demand for the stablecoin is only going to grow from that point on, especially as we do start to see regulations coming to the space. We see the institutions embracing the space in a big way. We see, entire, governments now embracing the space. And of course, now that we have a pro admin about to take office, I do think that this space is going to wake up in a large way in and outside of the US. And I do think that Ripple stands at the forefront of this to I would say gain the most, especially with the XRP ledger and XRP. And of course, we have to throw in RLUSD because that's the biggest piece of this puzzle. I do think that this stablecoin was not just launched, out of coincidence. I think that this was all a part of the plan since day one, especially with a lot of these discussions that have been happening in the last 12 months or even prior, right? We go all the way back to 2022 when Ripple said, hey, the stablecoin race is on. So they saw it then, they see it today, and they see where this space is headed. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.